Right, hello and welcome to the Honda Civic that really began it all, because this is the first generation Honda Civic Type R. Yes, today we are going over the Honda Civic Type R EK from 1997, and we're going to be seeing how good it is in Gran Turismo 7, which means we are going to be testing out this vehicle in its standard state with its standard engine being fully upgraded as well as engine swap. And if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, well, don't forget to leave a like. So diving in, how do you get your hands on the Honda Civic? Well, what you need to do is head on over to used car dealership, and you're gonna spend 55,600 credits to get your hands on an absolute legend. So this vehicle standard comes with a B16B, which is a 1.6 liter inline 4-cylinder that's naturally aspirated, but this vehicle was just cut from a different cloth compared to its standard Civic. Yes, because the Civic Type R had a super high revving and very powerful engine, because yes, this 1.6 liter was producing power figures that were unseen from a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. This vehicle was producing 182 brake horsepower at 8200 RPM, which is very high revving and very strong. Now, when you get your hands on it in Gran Turismo 7, the vehicle does produce 176 brake horsepower and comes in at a weight of 1050 kgs. So the vehicle was a lot lighter than your standard Civic and produced a lot of power, which means off the line it left the standard Civic in a dust. And we see that trend continued when it came to cornering, because not only was the Civic good down a straight line, but it was also good through corners, because the vehicle was lower and stiffer than your standard Civic. So this just made it the perfect choice for any boy racer, and why it still has the heart of so many fans. Now in Gran Turismo 7, with those attributes, we see this vehicle set lap times around the 2 minutes 7 second mark on stock, which frankly is not fast at all. I mean, vehicles also around the same time period are setting lap times around the 2-minute mark, so a 2 minute 7 second lap time isn't really particularly fast around Kyoto Driving Park. But look, coming down the straightaway, we are doing about 182 kilometers per hour before we need to slam on the brakes come around the first corner. But frankly, the vehicle just doesn't have the get up and go that it needs to really be competitive against other vehicles. But I feel like we can really change that, because if we head on over to a tuning shop and spend quite a bit of money and slap on a turbocharger, we can take this B116 from 176 brake horsepower all the way up to 371 brake horsepower and bring the weight down to 861 kgs, which is a massive weight saving and a massive power increase, which should really make the Honda Civic feel a lot better than standard. So with that being done, we can now head on over to GT Auto and see what visual customizations we have for this vehicle. So we see that we have two options for a front bumper, none for a side skirt. We have two options for a rear bumper, and we have 3 options for a rear wing. So yes, you can add some visual upgrades to your Honda Civic. Oh, and we also have one option for a grille. So once you have customized your Honda Civic, you can then take it back around the circuit and see a massive difference when it comes to performance. Because look, now coming around Kyoto Driving Park, the vehicle sets lap times around the 1 minute 40 second mark, with us coming down the main straightaway doing over 232 kilometers per hour before we need to slam on the brakes to make it around the first corner. Now the thing is, with this vehicle, now with it being fully upgraded, I'm talking max downforce, racing soft tires, the best of the best parts, and quite a decent tune, the vehicle is, as I said, a lot better than stock, but it is still far off the pace of being competitive. Look, the vehicle is still very far under the 700 performance points rating, but I wouldn't really say it's making me be like, wow, I need to drive this. Honestly, the Honda Integra Type R felt a lot better with that vehicle's standard engine being in it. I just enjoyed the overall experience in that a lot more than the Civic Type R. Now the Civic Type R, for me, it just feels like it has a bit more understeer than the Integra, and overall the Type R, don't get me wrong, it's still good, it's still fast, but I'm sure it needs a bit more tweaking when it comes to the handling to really get it bang on. And this is with me even just adjusting the brake balance. So the Honda Civic Type R, don't get me wrong, it's still fast, but it does require a bit of tweaking, and you need to know what you're doing to actually get this vehicle to go around the circuit rather quickly. But let's see if we can just improve that time by throwing a bit more power at it. So what we can do now is head on over to GT Auto once again and throw in an engine swap. So yes, the engine swap is going to cost you 250,000 credits, but it is going to be well worth it, because once you engine swap it, yes, we are going to increase the weight now to 929 kgs, but we also see the power increase to 599 brake horsepower, which is a massive difference over the under 400 that we previously had. So this should mean that the Honda Civic Type R is going to be an absolute weapon now, or an absolute dead machine. But when we take it around chaos or driving park, we do see an improvement in lap times, with the vehicle now sitting lap times around the 1 minute 36 second mark, which I can see you actually sitting a bit faster of a lap time, because this was my first attempt, and after a bit more tweaking, I was able to just hit it into that 1 minute 35 second mark, which means, look, it is capable depending on your driving style and how you are and how good you are with front wheel drive vehicles. This vehicle can really be competitive. And look, and with it being far under the 700 performance points racing, because we see with the vehicle on racing soft tires, max downforce, all the upgrades it can have, it comes in at 661 performance points, and this is the car without a wide body kit, which means around a WTC 700 around Le Mans, yes, you are going to be setting lap times just above the 4 minute mark, but the vehicle will still get 2 laps of fuel, which means it can actually run with the group for vehicles that you're competing against. So yes, you can use it for money grinding, which is a perk, but it would be even better, in my opinion, if you try to get it under 600 performance points and use it at that level, because I feel like it's gonna be more fun there than no, because I feel like at that performance rating it still has a lot of power, and it's gonna be really, I'd say, almost overpowered. But look, the Honda Civic Type R EK from 1997, it's a fantastic Honda Civic, and you can really feel that this is where it all began. By hopping into a new Civic, it still gives off the same experience. So the Honda Civic Type R EK from 1997 is a fantastic vehicle that I would recommend you picking up, and I would recommend you engine swapping, because the engine swap actually makes quite a difference when it comes to the output of the vehicle. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this engine swap in the comment section down below. And with all this being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.